Rosie this. I'm safe. Just kidding. Hold on, I want to get this control word. Ooh, maybe I can land a full combo.
You passive fucking farted on him.
Hi. Hello. My name is Maza ASMR, and we're back with another League of Legends ASMR video. I don't know if you guys are enjoying these videos. They seem to be my most disliked videos in terms of ratios of likes to dislikes. Quick intro today. Let's go ahead and get started. And I hope you guys are doing well. I'm at the beach. Alrighty, so we're gonna be playing Brand. And I am definitely not good at Brand. Or at least in the past few times that I've played him, which have probably been over a month ago. I don't remember. There was a time when I wanted to be really good at Brand because I wanted to get an X-Tech chest on him. And I failed at getting that. I brought the team down because I am just not good at him. So we're trying him out because what better way to get good at someone than to just play them directly into ranked. With Dark Harvest and First Strike, I find myself so, I don't know, I just get so caught up in getting that harvest stack or getting my first strike off that I don't pay attention to my health at all, which is such a big problem that I'd never had before. I don't know why it's happening now. I did not know Aurelian was coming to gank us, but that was a very solid gank. And we get our flash. Honestly, not bad. Anyway, so someone in my last league video had suggested me reading out item names and doing a lot of like repetition for item names or reading the descriptions of items. But because I haven't backed yet, I think I'm just gonna be reading out Brand lore. Actually, I should back pretty soon. I'm pretty low on everything. I have a couple of pages open on my other screen that have Brand lore and all of the items I typically build as Brand. So I'm just gonna be reading the wiki for those as I go by, like during packs and everything. But first, I'm gonna build Rylai's. I go Rylai's in boots. When brands build Rylai, it's supposed to be really annoying, so I love being annoying. Rylai's Crystal Scepter, Rylai's Crystal Scepter. Its passive is called Rime Frost. Dealing ability damage slows affected units by 30% for 1 second. 1 second. And it increases ability power by 75 and increases health by 400. So the notes here for Rylai's Crystal Scepter. specializes in using ice-based crowd control abilities to disable and slow her opponents. The first icon is almost identical to the icon for the Crystal Maidens in Archmage from Warcraft 3's Brilliance Aura ability. It bears greater resemblance to the icon for the mage class in World of Warcraft. I did not play WoW, but my organic chemistry professor is apparently a WoW addict, or was a WoW addict. She told us this on the first day of class when we had to write. Okay, nobody saw that cue. Anyway, when we had to write something about us that is unique or special or interesting, and she was like, and nobody write, oh, nothing's interesting about me, I'm not interesting. So she was like telling us not to be self-deprecating and have some confidence. And she's so funny, she's like, stop being emo. I used to play WoW. And I guess that was sort of her icebreaker. This professor has sort of a interesting and unique last name. And one time when we were playing League, we saw a player, but that username was his professor's last name, and so we were just making jokes like, I didn't know that blah 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 professor was a Kaisa main. She only told us she played WoW. I didn't know she also dabbled in the League of Legends. I got so sidetracked there. I didn't even read the brand lore. So, on the League website for brand, it starts with a quote by brand, and it says, oh shoot. Throw me in there. Throw me in there. I like Kalista ult. I feel like I'm cannonballing everywhere. Oh shit, Ari's coming. This is what hubris gets me. Oh my god, maybe if I ring around the rosy this. I'm safe. Wasn't safe. So the quote says, "This place will burn, not by cinder flying or breath of wind, but by the vengeance of my hand." The son of a Freljordian healer, Keegan Rhoda was born an outsider. The little magic and herb craft his mother possessed allowed them both to survive on the fringes of a small coastal community named Rygan's Reach. Friends were few and far between. Even as a young boy, he knew his father was an enemy reaver, and that he, and Keegan by extension, was the reason his mother was shunned. The villagers called him the Reaver Bastard. Keegan allowed his loneliness and resentment to smolder, often turning violent. After enduring years of seemingly endless winter, his mother's frail body finally gave in. As Keegan spread her funeral ashes, he thought of the people she had spent her life healing. None of them had come to pay their respects. He knew they wished him to disappear into the cold air as well. He would oblige them, but not before he took his revenge. He burned down the village and fled into the night, leaving himself with scars that would never heal. Also, I apologize if I stumble on my words. I'm looking back and forth between screens as I'm doing this, so I am kind of losing my place as I go. Oh shoot. Oh. He saved me. I'm gonna say it again. I love Kalista ult. Anyway, another side note, I am pretty congested right now. I have had a sore throat for the past while, so if you can hear that, I'm so sorry. But maybe it makes this more tingly, 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 tingly. as his apprentice was burned away by the raw magic, Keegan's soul utterly consumed. The creature that was born in that moment was no longer the bitter young man Rise had rescued from the snows, nor the Freljordian mage he had come to know as his friend. Rather, this vengeful being of fire and fury that now walked the mortal realm would eventually become known as Brand. Cursing his former master and every other living thing that would ever come between him and the ruins, Brand lashed out with magical flames, and Rise barely escaped with his life. Over the centuries since that day, Brand has lived an anarchic, wildfire existence, taking and never giving anything back to the world. I'm just gonna take a second to pause because my boyfriend just saved my ass there. He ulted me out from Ari, and I still had to flash, but he died. He gave a noble sacrifice. Okay, we're just wrapping up the Brand lore. At times, he blazes across the heavens like a comet. At others, he sinks into the cold earth and slumbers, waiting for the unmistakable scent of magic that will lead him to another world rune. And should he find one, there are precious few in Runeterra with the power to stop him. So, basically, Brand has daddy issues. Anyway, I feel like I've honestly been doing pretty okay so far. Fingers crossed that I don't mess it up later. I got new glasses recently, and it has been such a change. Let me tell you, I've been seeing so well. It's sort of an ongoing joke that I have terrible vision. When I was a kid, I would try and memorize the eye chart so that I wouldn't have to get glasses, because my mom used to be like, oh my gosh, you got the good genes. Your brother and I have very bad eyesight. And they had said this all the time growing up. They'd be like, you have such good eyes. How can you see that far? And I would just be pretending that I could see super far. And I'd challenge my brother, be like, I bet you can't read that sign over there. But I had already read it beforehand. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked again. We can get back to the lore. Probably after this fight. Oh, looks like the fight's basically over. So I guess maybe I should have started with this one, but this is my support item called World Atlas. It upgrades into Runic Compass, and then Bounty of Worlds, and then from Bounty of Worlds, you get to choose what it turns into for free. And so I usually go with Zazak's Realm Spike, which gives me 200 health, 75% base health regeneration, and added 75% base mana regeneration too. This is a legendary item. I think he should probably back. Oh my god. No. Like, he saved me, but at what cost? I just feel so bad because he keeps ulting me out of situations I put myself in. I don't deserve my KDA. I'm just getting spoon-fed assists. So I kind of figured out how to improve my audio quality just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I actually need to have my game sourdough loaf that comes from him. We name them like Brettlesworth, or like my partner's naming this new one Bread of Night or Bredge of Night. I don't remember. But there's always a new name. I'm so surprised that I survived in there. Well, I guess I have so many stuns that it shouldn't be surprising, and maybe I should survive every mortal ult, but I don't. That's actually one of the few that I have survived. But yeah, I've been super into making sourdough lately, and again, I am like always 4 years too late to trends. I'm learning that I really enjoy staying home and I really value my time at home in my 20s. If school could be online, that would make me so happy. Online school in high school kind of made me feel lazy and set me up with a sort of slacker mindset in college, which maybe I needed, but it might have made me too slack because they were so lenient in high school. Anyway, sorry for going on all these random tangents. I guess the last item that I want to go through before we close out this video are my boots. The boots I built are Sorcerer's Shoes. They add 18 magic pen and 45 movement speed. 45 movement speed. Under gold efficiency, it says, although not a basic item, Sorcerer's Shoes is the item from which gold value for the stat magic penetration is derived. There are a bunch of different kinds of boots you can get. There's Berserker's Greaves, Boots of Swiftness, Ionian Boots of Lucidity, Mercury's Treads, Mobility Boots, and Plated Steel Caps. That was a lot of whistly S's. I apologize. So, under strategy, it says, Sorcerer's Shoes is a very good item for ability power-based champions, as it allows you to ignore 18 points of your enemy's magic resistance. In contrast, it is less effective for non-offensive mages such as supports or tanks, as their typically low magic damage abilities prevent the item from receiving its full value. Compared to the high damage results of a carry, one of the two defensive boots would likely be a better pick, as the added survivability will be of more value to these roles. Sorcerer's Shoes are less efficient against enemies with high magic resistance. However, they synergize